Hello, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Christine. I like to read dark and disturbing things. Today though, I thought I would do a bookshelf tour with you. So let's check it out. So some of you have noticed that I have some new bookshelves. This is actually in a different room than the room I was filming in before. This is in like my office area. And I had been waiting for a really long time to get these IKEA bookshelves. I don't have an IKEA near me. And every time I tried to get them shipped, there was some reason it was out of stock or what have you. So I finally got some shelves in and I set them up in my office so I would have like a quieter area to film from time to time. But I do still have my other bookshelves, which contain all of my like horror books. So yeah, I have enough that I need separate shelves now. I have been asked to do like a bookshelf tour. So I will be showing you my new bookshelves and the ones in the other room. I'm not going to be going through every book, book by book. I think that you'll get a pretty good idea. And I just want to say that these bookshelves are by no means done. I thought about waiting until I felt done to show them off, but who are we kidding? They're never going to be done. They're always going to be shifting around. I'm always going to be getting new books or unhauling books and moving stuff. So this is how it is now. So I hope you enjoy this style of video. Let me know if this is your kind of thing. Yeah, let's just check it out. Okay, so these are my bookshelves here in the corner and they go all the way up to the ceiling. I decided to use the ceiling for displaying some of my figurines. And don't worry, I will go slower bit by bit, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how everything was set up. So I'm gonna have to get on a chair so I can get all the way up there. So 1 second. All right, so this is my very top shelf. I have a lot of figures. This is not even like all my stuff, but basically my dad is a huge comic book person and his sons never really got into it. So he's had me to kind of share this love with. And I'm very much into Wonder Woman. So he has sent me a lot of these little figures. We have like alternate versions, and I don't read comics really, not very often. But so I don't know like all the details, but this one has like a chainsaw, which I thought was awesome. And I think some of these things, like this thing here, I think some of it over time he's been like kind of unhauling on me. A lot of them are birthday or Christmas gifts. Here we have Batman and Wonder Woman. And I do really like, I like Batman mostly because I like the Joker and I like all of like the back and forth between the two of them. I've played a lot of the Batman games, like the Arkham Asylum games, and I really fell in love with Joker and Batman's relationship. So this old school campy Joker car I got for Christmas from him last year. So that's where all that stuff comes from, and I just didn't really have a place to display it before without it taking over the whole house. The next shelf down, I'm going to do the left side first, I suppose. So I kind of just threw some of my YA things up here. I didn't really know what to do with. I've got some of these special editions here. Some things that I've gotten from various book boxes. This was my Wizard of Oz teacup and just like an owl crate jar. And the next shelf down. So here are basically a lot of books that just don't fit into anything else. So what I had on all these shelves was pretty much a lot of my fantasy stuff. A lot of it I had gotten from book boxes or it's YA. Some of them I read, some of them I haven't. And yeah, if I keep them here, I'm more likely to see them. And then this is my Song of Achilles mug. This isn't really part of my bookshelf, but I thought I would show it off because it is my coffin-shaped pin collection, and a lot of them I have gotten from book boxes. Not all of them. Some of them are video game related. Some of them are from Abominable Book Club. Some of these here were from Owl Crate. I really like the Scary Stories one, the Freddy one, and then I have my DuckTales one, and then just my Zero. Okay, back to the bookcase. So this shelf is a lot of my Greek mythology retellings that I have. This one, since it's backwards, is stone blind. A lot of these are fairly new and I haven't read them all yet. And then my Greek myths pot there. And then the Song of Achilles, Circe, that white one is just another copy of Lore. And then this teacup is also based off of Song of Achilles. And then this is just like a Greek mythology teapot. So I thought that would be cute to put there. All right, my next row down is basically a bunch of Book of the Month and now Aardvark Book Club books that they all are the same size pretty much. So I liked seeing them together. And so these were just the ones that didn't fit into like my spooky shelves. And a lot of these I still have yet to read, though I have read a handful of them. And then ignore that little pile. That's just some books that I am reading or have just recently read. This is totally Zach's fault. Zach over at Shadyside Library. Check out his channel if you haven't. He has an amazing collection. But he got me started on kind of recollecting a lot of these Fear Street, R.L. Stine, Christopher Pike books. And then I have found these Nightmare Hall books. And yeah, I tried to make them rainbowy. And then this bottom shelf, I just don't really know what to do with yet. The bottom shelves, actually a lot of these shelves have a lot of space. And I saw that you can get an extra shelf. I think I could fit an extra shelf or two in each one of these, but this is a really tall art book that I showed off in another video, and then I just have this art print. And this is one of my favorite series, actually. I had the whole collection, and then I got rid of them way back when I was doing that whole Marie Kondo thing, and I started recollecting them. If I see them used, I will re-grab them. All right, let's do our middle shelves. Here I just have this fun copy of Alice in Wonderland, and it's like a really interactive, like almost pop-up book type thing, where there's like lots of pictures and like things to open and do inside here. And then I have my Cheshire Cat. And then in the middle, I like to display a lot of these books that I've gotten, a lot of them from Fairy Loot or Illumicrate, that just have really beautiful sprayed edges. And most of these are fantasy. My next level is I put some of my classics here. I really love the cover of this version of Jane Eyre. The Scarlet Letter I recently, fairly recently hauled. I have not read it yet. Owlcrate had a version of, they had these like special versions of The Secret Garden, which is one of my favorite movies growing up, Pride and Prejudice. And I just thought that this teacup was very fitting right there. And then the next shelf up, I have more of the ones that have beautiful sprayed edges. This is the Bridgerton collection. I believe this was from Illumicrate. Have I read any of them? No, but I did watch the show. Does that count? It's very much not usually my thing, but I did like the show and I loved the way that these looked. And I do plan on one day giving them a try. It's my little corgi light. And then I have a lot of, these are books from Twisted Retreat and or Unplugged Book Box. Make my way across here. So this is more my fantasy and series collections. These are all books that are part of a series, even if I don't have them all. I started putting them there. I have a Labyrinth mug, a pile of books I wasn't really sure what to do with. Like I said, it's not totally done. I have the Bear and the Nightingale trilogy, which I have only read the first one so far. Poppy War trilogy, a bunch of books basically that I said I want to read and I have only read a few of these so far. This is Percy Jackson inspired sword. The next shelf down is kind of more my darker fantasy, so Legendborn and the sequel, and then I did end up with a couple of copies of Ninth House and Hellbent because I bought a special version of them later on. I'm really sorry I can't hold the camera steady. I drink too much coffee. I love The Witcher games and then also the show, so I thought I would try to read. I think I've read some on my Kindle, but yeah, I haven't really read those yet. I told myself if I read the first two, then I could buy the rest. So see, I can show some restraint. And then I have been asked about this guy. This is actually from Bath & Body Works from their Halloween collection. Those are little bats flying around in there. It can play music if you want, but it would be pretty annoying. This is meant to hold a candle, but I'm not gonna light a candle inside a bookcase, so I just thought it looked cool. And then I have the Darker Shade of Magic series, which I've only read the first one. Don't know why I haven't read the rest. Just a couple more shelves. So here are, I really loved the Six of Crows duology. I haven't read the rest of them yet. Just some more fantasy books and my Dark Heart. And then this is more like my YA series, I guess. So I've got Amari. I have read all these, but I have not read these. I got these for Christmas because I wanted to, it just sounded cool. The School of Good and Evil. I have no idea if it's good. Same thing with this show. Haven't read yet. And then the very bottom, oh, there's my little Cuphead guy. I am also a pretty big gamer, so I've got some gaming books here. I have, and they're always really tall, and that's why I put them on this bottom shelf. And then I got this really cool DuckTales book for my husband for my birthday. Look how cool that is. And then there I just have a pile of stuff. You could tell my dad sent me some stuff that is going to be whenever my next haul is. And then just a couple fun versions of To Kill a Mockingbird and Winnie of Pooh. All right, so that is that. I'm gonna take you on into the other room and we could check out the other bookshelves. Okay, so this is just a little section I have in this room. I have a collection of that and just some Harry Potter stuff. Oh, this was from a Twisted Retreat box, so I thought that was cool. And then this is the bookcase that I originally filmed in front of. My little pile of stuff there, but yeah, I'm gonna show you what this is all about. I have redone it since I got the other shelves. On the very top, what I have is Diagon Alley. This is the Lego set that I got for my son for Christmas. Totally was for him, was not for me at all. Apparently you can get like a light set to put in there, which would look really good. It's just basically where I have all of my horror books. I won't go through all of them. I'll just kind of do a quick sweep by. A lot of these things I've gotten from various book boxes, like my Mothman. And then the next shelf down. This is also a candle holder, and I accidentally left it on so the batteries are dead, but it like swirls glitter inside. My many copies of Frankenstein. This is a tin book that I had to have because it was Frankenstein. And then I'll show you behind here. Some more books. So I mostly I know everyone has like their own version of how they do stuff where it's either alphabetical or by author. Mine is more by vibe, and I know where things are, and I feel like that's all that matters. This is a book of Tim Burton poetry that I got a long time ago. So it's from a friend who went to New York and saw the Tim Burton like art exhibit, and she was thoughtful enough to grab this book for me. And I had forgotten I had it until recently, so I have it up here. And it's kind of covering A lot of books I have here. I liked this girl because she's got red hair and she likes to read like mystery novels. Some versions of Dracula, my Dracula teacup. And then down here, The Art of Alice Madness Returns was a video game on PS2 that I was obsessed with. And I guess the original was on PC. And at one point I had all of the characters. Having a child kind of makes it so that you can't keep your stuff. But anyway, my dad had picked these up for me a long time ago. And then I thought these creepy versions of Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella just looked really cool. I know it's not a great use of space, but that's how it is just for now. All right, back up to the top, I have got a lot of mostly paperbacks. Paperback horror. Got my Funko Pop figurine there. I don't have too many books with these cool edges that are really dark. This is pretty much my Stephen King shelf, or most of it. Got this postcard from Derry, this hat, and then just a stack of random paperbacks. Like, I don't have a super cool like rainbow collection like a lot of people do. And down here I've got some Edgar Allan Poe, another teacup. I get a lot of these teacups from book boxes and I'm too scared to ever actually use them, but then I end up with so many. Got Frankenweenie down here, and a few more books that didn't fit my Stephen King shelf. I've got some Beetlejuice fun stuff here. More books that like I said, no rhyme or reason. These aren't even in like size order or anything. And then I do have like a little witchy section here with some witchy themed books. And this I just didn't really know what to do with quite yet. Last but not least, I have in the same room, these were supposed to be temporary. These are really short shelves. I don't think they look great. They're all falling apart, but I have a lot of candles at this point. I've got Mothman. This is another really cool candle holder from Bath and Body Works. He glows green if the batteries weren't dead. More Wonder Woman and BioShock stuffs. And I won't spend too much time because these shelves are pretty much everything that does not fit on my other shelves. So I've got a lot of these fantasy books that I'll probably never get to. A lot of my comic stuff from my dad, nightmare stuff, and then those shelves over there are pretty much books that I'm unhauling. All right, I'm hoping that wasn't boring. I felt like I was just kind of rambling and just giving my thoughts about my shelves, but I like to, you know, I'm zooming in or trying to look in the background on your guys' videos when I watch. I like to see what people have. I thought it might be a fun video to do. So thanks for coming along with me on this bookshelf tour. And don't forget to stay spooky. Have a good day, guys. Bye.